Hey, what's up guys? My name is David. Welcome back to the channel. I am a search specialist and I love to do a lot of other things with tech, productivity, learning, developing, all of this stuff. I love learning. I love the process of learning and I love the process of teaching, simplifying things and bringing together insights of different ideas, unrelated topics together into one place that give me the ability to live a better life, both digitally and offline. So in today's video, I'm gonna walk through something I absolutely love, which my team does, and we call it Deliver at 80. Now, before I begin, I would love to ask you, if this is the first time here, you want more video content like this as you go through this video, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I would so appreciate that. Even if you just hit the like button, that gives me a signal that you like the video. I'd love that. All right, so this concept of Deliver at 80. Deliver at 80, it may sound very familiar. There's this whole concept of the 80-20 rule. And if you've never heard it before, I would highly recommend looking into it. It is a very, very valuable tool. You could ask a lot of questions around the 80-20 rule. I think Tim Ferriss has some very fabulous questions that he first introduced into the productivity scene around the 80-20 rule. But here, what we're talking about with Deliver at 80, it's about actually delivering things, getting things done and moving to the next step at 80%. Now, in most cases, with most places and most people, this works. In some cases, it does not work. If you're under something called, let's say, building spaceships and you're operating under Murphy's Law as it was, you can't just do that. You can't just deliver at 80. You have to consider all the factors, all the worst case scenarios, all of that. But in most cases, most places, and most things, you don't need to worry about that. You can move forward, especially in the digital and creative world. You can move forward much quicker. Now, the perfectionist in me does not want to believe this. The perfectionist in me wants to get things right the first time, deliver it, make it smooth and simple and clean as possible. But sometimes that just doesn't work. And not that it just doesn't work, but sometimes that's less productive. Now let me explain. For me, designing a website, let's just say for an example, it'll take me 16 hours to build the site. So within that 16 hours, I could probably get to about 80% of the site's completion in the first 4 hours. And then I'll spend 12 hours trying to complete that last 20%. So as you can see here, I'm spending the majority of the time on the last final bit while I'm spending very little time on the majority of the site. And so what I end up doing is spending so much time perfecting one section of the site or perfecting different sections of the site where I'm spending 7 hours on the footer because the footer has to look perfect, even though it's at the very bottom of the site and no one's gonna see it. But I'm spending hours customizing it, coding it, making it perfect. And then I show it to the client and say, look at your beautiful website. And this footer, you gotta love this footer. And then they say, it's okay, I actually want something way simpler. So the idea of Deliver at 80 is you eliminate all those barriers of waiting for perfection to show work, and you add in the added level of collaboration, right? So now you're working together with people sooner in the process. There are times where this kind of complicates things. In most cases, it's not a big deal. You can deliver sooner than later. Also, when you're working within a team collab-wise, it's actually much better to not wait for the final product to be delivered, to get everything right. And if you put this element into practice, and then you also take some practices from, say, like the make time system, or just from pushing yourself forward, there is also the idea of if you give something a certain amount of time, it'll get done in that amount of time. So if you say to yourself, it's gonna take me 3 weeks to finish a project, well, yeah, it will take you 3 weeks to finish a project. Next to another person with the same project, and if they say 3 days, they'll get it done in 3 days. There's a lot of cases. Most scenarios fit into those categories. And so what we're touching on here specifically is that when you do sit down and you sit down to work and you say, I'm gonna give myself 2 hours, and you know the website's gonna take you 16 hours, but you know you could get to 80% in just 4 hours, you should be done with about half the site, kind of give or take, within those 2 hours. Or let's say you give yourself all 4 hours. Well, whatever you get to within that 4 hours, you should be able to accomplish a lot. And so with all of this and all of these ideas, delivering at 80 helps you move quicker. I've gone through the process with so many clients where I deliver a project thinking they're gonna love it and they hate it. And I've gone through the process where by the time I deliver it to the client, I just feel so, I could see things, they could look better, they could be better. There's so many aspects of it where I think it can improve. And then they look at it and they absolutely love it. And what I've learned is that there's just all these different factors in this. Now, if you're talking about wireframes, different scenario, but still the same concept, where that initial design, those initial designs that you show to a client, it's the same thing. So with Deliver at 80, this is the basic rule. You can get more done in less time and waste less time by pushing yourself to not wait until it's perfect. This isn't some type of quote that you need to keep up on your wall, but the Deliver at 80 concept is. Delivering at 80 allows you to really hone in and surprise yourself, surprise your clients, surprise the people you work with, surprise your team on how much you can get done quicker and faster by not getting stuck in the zone of making everything perfect. And that's one thing I've been following for the last 2 years that I find so helpful. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you find this useful. And if you have a rule similar to this, or if you have anything to add, adjust, or something that you use in a similar practice for yourself, please add it to the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.